Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up. Matt McCarthy in Manhattan, Colby Marshall somewhere up in north of Manhattan, and he is back with another martial law, this time pinpointing the pivotal plays in each of the 6 matches in Major League Rugby this weekend. Colby, take it away.
Thanks, Matt. To kick it off, the game between New York and San Diego, I want to say when it was 14-7 in the first half, a scrum half, Nate Oxberger, who had a really good game, made a line break, ended up having a 2-on-1 situation. So Oxberger whiffed on a little grub kick when he really could have just played a ball out to his teammate. That would have made it 19-7 Legion, most likely, as opposed to what happened when Rooney tied the game shortly after that play when Andy Ellis fed Fasi Fuatai for a try and conversion that tied the game. So that little 10-point swing right there really made a difference in the scoreline at the end.
You're a tough one to impress because Augsburger was all over the pitch offensively and defensively. But, you know, hey, this is your martial law. What's the next one?
So the next one in the match between the LA Guiltinis and New England Free Jacks, you know, LA got off to a lightning fast start, displaying really elite ball movement and playmaking ability, got out to a 14-0 lead that New England cut to 14-7. And after they scored their first try, they had the ball and turned it over, which proved critical because LA went back, got the ball to DTH, made a nice little run on the wing, got taken down, but New England was already caught out on defense. So LA was able to move the ball towards the other side of the field where they had isolated players and really walk in for an easy try. And so that play right there, I think, really helped LA, start their scoring spree that they ended up going on, scoring 42 points in that match.
So what you're saying, Colby, is there was no preseason hangover for the Guiltinis.
Matt, horrible joke. Let's move on. Utah versus Austin. This was a really exciting game. A lot of fans, a good energy. And 20 minutes into the second half, there was a scrum. And at that point in time, the game was 22-14. Austin had the ball. They were down. And it was obviously still up for grabs. But Utah, with their powerful front line led by Alex Tucci, they won the scrum and won possession back of the ball. And only literally a few seconds later, Jury Van der Vuren was able to score a try that put them up 27-14. Austin, they showed a lot of grit and heart in the comeback. You know, that try right there, I think, with only under 15 minutes to go in the match, proved to be too much for Austin to come back from.
Good points, and Utah surprised us all in a good way. Good to see them and Sean Pittman on the winning side. Next up,
Toronto versus Rugby ATL. This was a game that was decided in the first half as far as the scoreline is concerned. Rugby ATL took a 21-14 lead, and no points were scored from either team for the rest of the game. But when it was 14-all, Andrew Ferguson stepped up for a kick. Toronto opted for points. And, I wouldn't say it was a chip shot, but it was certainly one that he should have made. And, it makes you think about the likes of a Sam Malcolm that they're missing, Mr. Ace, Mr. Automatic, that, they really missed in this game. And it's an interesting storyline that's developing in Toronto, I think, how they're going to cope with the loss of a guy like Sam Malcolm that put up so many points for them and how they're going to maybe adjust their style of play moving forward. But I think that kick right there proved to be the difference. They didn't attempt another kick for points after that. So that kick there.
You are vicious. You are vicious. But the Arrows were indeed off target, but they had, a very rough offseason up in Canada, not scrimmaging against anybody. But we can go on and make excuses, but we won't. Next one.
Seattle versus Houston. Seattle really controlled possession in the first half. And when it was 7-6, they were really on the cusp of, it seemed like they were on the cusp of increasing that lead when they got the ball out to Aaron Matthews, number 4 overall pick out of St. Mary's, who had a really nice game. But they got the ball out to him. He made a nice little cut and move, got taken down, didn't really have support with him. And so Houston was able to steal the ball at the breakdown and got it out to Zach Pangelian, who took the ball the length of the field and scored a try that made it 13-6. And I wouldn't say that the try gave Houston confidence because with their talented roster led by Sam Windsor and the 2 Fijian wingers in the back line, I think that they had confidence they would win. But at that point in the match, it gave them a boost that they needed, I think, to get back on track to win the game, in which they did.
Yeah, good point. Seattle does have some reinforcements coming in. There's a rumored Japanese import coming in the back line, and there's a rumor that Samu Manoa will be coming out of retirement and putting back on that Seawolves jersey. But kudos again to the Sabercats. Great stadium. You like that organization, and we're rooting for them. Next.
NOLA Gold versus Old Glory. This was one of the better games of the weekend, I think, in my opinion. It ended in a 26-26 tie. And Jason Robertson and Danny Tusitala accounted for all of Old Glory's points, while Carl Meyer accounted for 11 of NOLA Gold's 26 points. And so it was an even match. But I think in the 8th minute when Carl Meyer missed the conversion, that was the difference in the game. That was the only conversion missed by either team. And so that right there proved to be the difference for NOLA.
Yeah, and Andrew Douglas and co have to be happy for Old Glory. Again, Northeast or the East Coast, snow, very limited training outside. They stole a tie there. And after the last year, that was their only defeat against NOLA. Colby, excellent stuff. The Marshall Law with Mr. Colby Marshall. I'm Matt McCarthy for Colby. Please check out all our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, What Are the Odds, our Major League Rugby Sports Bet show with the Philly Godfather, John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE legend, and Gifty Bailu, Martial Law, the Zack Attack. And please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.